today. It is Foundation Friday. It has been quite the week, let me tell you. It's my first time filming in the new apartment. This is all gonna change. You guys should see this room right now. There's literally cardboard boxes all around me. Filming lights like stacked between boxes and clothes. Kind of a shit show. So this is gonna be fun. So the lighting, background, everything is gonna be changing. I did my best to get the lighting as good as possible for today. But let's jump into Foundation Friday. This weird powder thing. So I wasn't originally planning on doing a full video on this because I actually included this in a Shadow and Schmooze I think like a month ago now, right when this first came out. But in the past couple weeks, I've gotten a ton of requests from you guys to do a video on this. So I figured I would do Foundation Friday on this and test it in a couple different ways. When I first tried it out in the Shadow and Schmooze, I didn't do a wear test or anything. If you ever want to know if I've talked about a product in a video, all you have to do is search the name of the product plus the Tela in YouTube search and it'll come up. Magic. So if you have not heard of this thing, this is the new Urban Decay Velvetizer powder. This is basically a powder that you can mix in with your foundation. It's supposed to make it more matte and add more coverage, or you can wear it on top of your foundation just as like a finishing powder. I'm going to read some of the claims on Urban Decay's website. It's $34 and you get 0.28 ounces of product. It says mix in a dime size amount of this product to create an extra velvety feel, beautiful matte finish, and added coverage. The result is silky, airbrush looking skin. It says it doesn't mess with the color of your other products, so mixing this in shouldn't affect the shade at all. Ultra fine, addictively luxurious, it's been a long week, luxurious feel, and I think that's about it. So this morning I worked out, did all of my errands, so I wouldn't have to leave the house today because I'm gonna test this in kind of a weird way. I'm gonna do like a half face test. So if it looks bizarre, we're all good. I'm just staying in. So what I'm gonna do is on half my face, mix it in with foundation, and on the other half, I am not gonna mix it in with foundation. I'm just gonna apply the foundation, but then use it as a setting powder. So you can see how it wears throughout the day, which way might work better for you. And I'm really curious to see if the side that I mix it in actually adds coverage. Foundation I'm gonna be mixing it in with on both sides is the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation. The reason I'm using this one is because I have self tanner on right now, hence why I don't blend in with the wall. I put it on for 4th of July. When I'm filming this, it's the 6th, and I'm kind of feeling it. I feel like the shade is pretty natural, but anyways, foundation. I think this shade should work pretty well to match my body. I know this one is too dark on its own for me usually. And I've already prepped my skin with my Urban Decay Rehab Makeup Prep. This is what I always use. And for about the past week, I've been using the No. 7 Airbrush Away Primer, and this thing is bomb. I feel like it actually kind of smooths out your skin. So I'm gonna keep trying this one out, but I am gonna be using it today since I've been using it for, like I said, about a week. Let's do this. I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. brush to apply my foundation. So first, I think I'm gonna apply the foundation on this side by itself so we can see how much coverage it has on its own and the finish without mixing in the powder. Going in with foundation. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting to do something? Wash, moisturize, prime my face. Here we go. Ooh, I think this shade might actually be too light with self tanner on. Shitsies. Yeah, let me go digging for foundations and see what we can do. My makeup is not unpacked at all, so wish me luck. Okay, so I took that off and just re-primed that side of my face. I'm gonna try the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir in 710. I did a full review on this product. I love it. This was actually like the main reason why I picked up the self tanner, because I wanted this to match my body. 710 I think will work because I wore this the other day. And this foundation is very dewy on its own, super glowy, so that'll be good to see how it mattifies it. And then it's also not completely full coverage off of one layer. So we'll see if this adds coverage too. Definitely too light. I think I'm just gonna have to use a ton of bronzer. It's looking even lighter on camera. In real life, it doesn't look that off, but it definitely is about a shade too light. So it says to use a dime size amount. That's for a full face. So I'm gonna use about the same amount of foundation and then mix in a little bit less than a dime size amount since we're only doing half my face right now. So the actual powder in here is super finely milled. Like I said, I have tried this before, so I know how it feels and everything. This is probably the most finely milled powder I've ever felt. It does feel like not velvety, but just makes your skin feel super soft. It has a bit of a yellow tint to it in the container. So I'm just gonna dab, the word, I don't know. Is that enough? That is how much powder I put out in foundation. The cool thing when you mix this is that it doesn't get like weird clumpy, it just mixes really well. So off the bat, just on here, it definitely looks more matte, way less runny than the foundation on its own. Ooh, I forgot that this also oxidizes, which is good right now because I think this will actually match my face in a few minutes. Whoa. Okay, so you can see just trying to get it off my finger, definitely thicker. I feel like the color is different. Is that just me? It looks a little bit darker and more yellow to me. So I already almost used up that amount. So I feel like that didn't go quite as far as the other side, but it is mattifying it. Can't really tell on coverage yet. Okay, yeah, I need to mix a little bit more. Powder kind of like ate up some of the liquid, so I would mix a little bit more than you usually use. You could probably kind of customize it depending on how matte and everything you want it. Just mix in less powder, I'm assuming. It's looking a tiny bit cakey on the side of my face. Basically, on the areas of my face where I don't have acne, it's looking really good, but where I have more texture and acne, like around here and up on my forehead, it's definitely clinging a little bit, and it's not looking the best. I wouldn't say it looks horrible, but I do like how this side of my face is sitting better on my acne. I don't think it added any coverage. Coverage to me looks the same. I'm gonna try and build this up a little bit and just see if it builds. Nah. It doesn't look bad built up a little bit right there, but I'm not gonna do the rest of my face because I don't think it looks any better. This is oxidized and it's definitely matching me better. Okay, for some reason when I pat this in with my finger, it's looking a lot better. What the heck? I don't know if like the warmth of my hand is helping to kind of melt it in or what, but it looks way better. This is like finger magic right now. It's like taking away the texture and now it looks really nice. All right, looking in my mirror in real life, this side does look darker. So I do think it altered the shade a tiny bit. Now I'm gonna use this as a setting powder only on this half of my face. For setting powder, I always use the Furless CB4 brush. It's just a really nice like dense brush, and I feel like this gives me the best coverage with powders and it doesn't cause any weird texture things. I'm just gonna tap some of this into the lid. I'm not a big fan of loose powders. Sometimes it takes away the coverage of my foundation. It's very bizarre, but it happens to me with a lot of loose powders, which is why I usually stick with pressed powders. So I'm just gonna dip in here, kind of swirl it around, tap off the excess. There's a lot flying off since it's super fine. And when I apply my powder, I just like to pounce it on. I don't blend because if I have like a sticky foundation and blend, I just blend away all of the coverage. Oops. I totally forgot under eye concealer. What am I doing right now? I'm just gonna rub that powder off a little. I didn't totally like powder my whole eye, so I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. It's super nice having this tan because I can use products that I can't usually use under my eyes. Curious to see how concealer blends on top of here since it does have the powder mixed in on this half of my face. Seems to be blending out totally fine on top of there. This side is okay. Getting a little texture, but it's fine. I'm not using this to set my under eyes because there is not a single loose powder on planet Earth that works underneath my eyes. So back to powdering this part of my face. I think I got that part pretty good. Let's do the forehead. Touching my face, it feels super soft. This side feels matte enough to where I'll be able to blend product on top of it, but it doesn't have the same like super soft feel. I can't like glide my finger across it. This side, I would say 100% looks better than this side up close. So as I'm editing this back, I noticed that huge white stripe on the right side of my face. I'm not sure if it was just lighting I couldn't see it or what, or just the HD camera was picking it up more than I could see it in real life, but there's definitely like a white kind of cast to this, at least where it clung to part of my face on top of the liquid foundation. It just looks like I have kind of like a heavier foundation on. Now that I put that powder on top, I do think on my skin it took away a little bit of the coverage, but again, that usually happens with me. But it looks really smooth. As a setting powder, it looks very natural, really smooth. So I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup off camera, but I do wanna show you guys putting on bronzer just so you can see how powder blends on top of both. So right now it's 1:20 in the afternoon. That's when we're gonna call the check-in time. I've been freaking obsessed with this bronzer. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Bronzing Veil in Tropical Nights. I got this in New York. I used this when I didn't have the tanner on, and I've also used it while I have the tanner on, and I think this is literally the perfect bronzer. The exact shade and everything that I've been looking for. So what I've been doing is using my Wet n Wild brush and just going in with that light shade to contour, and then using like a fluffier brush to warm up my face. You can see the product stuck more on this side, and as soon as I put it on, I could feel that this one wasn't going to blend out quite as easily. It almost looks a little bit muddy on this side. This side is just like easily blending on top of that powder. The check-in time is 1:20. Like I said, I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. So it's now 2:13, so it's been on for almost an hour. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like in natural lighting in a second, but on the rest of my face, let me tell you what's on it. Blush I used Physicians Formula Butter Blush in Rosy Pink. I don't know what my button's doing, it's looking a little pointy. For a highlight, I tried out the Kevyn Aucoin Matte to Glow Neo setting powder. I just went in with like the more matte side, I guess, but it's definitely not matte. All of my eyeshadows are from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, which I'm still trying out. This video was pre-filmed, so I just want to let you guys know if you want to know my thoughts on it, head to Instagram. I posted a little summary of what I think of it. Lashes are Black Magic lashes in Charm. These ones are really short, but I like it if I just want like volume at the base. My lips are Bhue liquid lipstick in Natural Nude, which looks totally different on me when I don't have tanner on. And I think that's everything. I'll give you guys a little update on what I think of it when we're in natural lighting. Here we go. So my vlog camera completely broke on me a couple days ago, so I'm just filming on the iPhone. I need to get a replacement, but I wanted to show you guys in natural lighting regardless because I walked out here and my face on this side, using it as a setting powder, looks freaking smooth. It doesn't look bad on this side, but I'm already starting to get creasing on my upper lip on this side. On this side, I don't at all. It just looks very smooth on this side. I just think on my skin, it's working better as a setting powder versus mixing it in. All right, so it's now 7:15. I can't show you guys the time because filming on the phone, but my face has been on for 6 hours now. See how everything's looking? So off the bat, this side still looks much better. This side, I'm not getting really any creasing around my nose. It still looks really smooth. My forehead on the setting powder side definitely still looks better. This looks a little bit less textured. So here's up close. Hopefully you can see this, but there is some creasing, almost like cakiness a little bit around my nose on this side, and then my lip is creasing right here. I'm getting a little bit of lip creasing on this side, but it looks a lot better around my nose. I usually get pretty oily throughout the day, and right now I think oil-wise my skin on both sides looks pretty good. It looks about the same, I think. A little bit more oily on this side around here on my nose, so I'll check back in with you guys at the end of the night. Alright, so it's now 11:20. I just walked around for like 10 minutes trying to find the best semi-decent lighting to do the final check-in in. I think this is as good as we're gonna get without the ring light right now. Definitely be better once I have my vlog camera back, but also it'll probably just take me a little bit to get everything down with the lighting and new space and all that. Ooh, there we go. Okay, so looking at my face, I definitely still think I like the side using it as setting powder better. On my skin, I think mixing in the powder just made me look a little bit textured and too much. Around my nose on this side, it is caking up more than on this side. This side looks actually pretty good. I'm a tiny bit shiny, but nothing bad at all. If anything, it just kind of rubbed off right here because that's where I had my hand as I was working. I don't think this side looks bad, but because it didn't add any extra coverage or anything, there's not really a point to me to mix it in, because this side looks like it held up just as well and it's just a little bit less heavy looking to me. I think this one will just depend on your skin and texture and everything, how it mixes in with foundation. Overall, for me, I like it best as a setting powder, but I mean, if you're gonna buy it, you can try it both ways. Do I think it's worth buying it just as a setting powder? I think it looks really nice. It feels super soft. On my skin, it doesn't look quite as flawless as I saw it on like Casey Holmes. It looked amazing on her. So it might just depend on your skin. I don't know if for me I would specifically buy it just because I feel like I have other loose powders that do a similar thing. And for me, I won't be mixing it in with foundations, but if you guys have tried the Velvetizer, let me know what you think of it down below. Do you like it best mixed in? Do you wear it by itself? Do you wear it underneath liquid foundation? I might actually try that. Let me know your thoughts on it, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.